Hello, future botanists. Welcome to this exciting journey into the world of plant cells. Today, we are diving deep into the cell, the unit of life chapter, specifically focusing on simple permanent tissues. Ever wondered how plants stand tall or why some parts are flexible while others are hard? We'll uncover these secrets. Get ready to explore this topic through 4 levels of understanding: easy, medium, hard, and hardest. Let's begin. Ready to discover the basic building blocks that give plants their strength and shape? Let's start with the easy part. Simple permanent tissues are like the specialized workers in a plant. Unlike meristematic tissues, whose cells constantly divide, simple permanent tissue cells have matured and generally stopped dividing. They are all similar in structure and function, working together to perform specific roles. Think of them as a team of identical cells, each contributing to the plant's overall health and structure. These tissues provide essential functions such as support, storage of food and water, and protection. They are crucial for the plant's survival and growth, ensuring it can stand upright, store nutrients, and withstand environmental stresses. Now, let's meet the 3 main types of these tissues. First, we have parenchyma. These are living cells with thin walls, primarily responsible for storing food, water, and waste. If they contain chlorophyll, they help with photosynthesis, like in the leaves. Next, collenchyma. These are also living cells, but they have unevenly thickened walls, especially at the corners. They provide flexible support, allowing young stems and leaf stalks to bend without breaking. Imagine them as the plant's flexible scaffolding. Finally, sclerenchyma. These cells are usually dead when mature and have very thick, hardened walls due to a substance called lignin. They provide rigid support and protection, making parts like coconut shells extremely hard. The soft part of a fruit, like an apple, is mostly parenchyma, while the strings in celery are collenchyma, and the hard shell of a coconut is sclerenchyma. Time to test your understanding. Here are 3 quick questions. First, which simple permanent tissue is responsible for storing food in plants? Second, name the tissue that provides flexible support to young plant stems. And third, which tissue provides rigid strength and makes parts like seed coats hard? Think about the characteristics and functions we just discussed. Good luck! Alright, let's deepen our understanding of simple permanent tissues. We'll explore their structures and functions in more detail now. Plants are made of 2 main types of tissues: meristematic, which are actively dividing, and permanent, which have specialized functions and typically don't divide. Simple permanent tissues fall into the latter category, characterized by being composed of a single type of cell. Let's start with parenchyma, often considered the fundamental tissue of plants. These living cells are typically spherical or oval, with thin primary cell walls made of cellulose. They have a large central vacuole for storage and prominent spaces between cells, called intercellular spaces. Parenchyma performs vital roles. It stores food, water, and waste products. If it contains chloroplasts, it's called chlorenchyma and carries out photosynthesis, and in aquatic plants, specialized parenchyma called erenchyma provides buoyancy with large air cavities. They are found extensively in the pith and cortex of stems and roots, forming the bulk of soft plant parts. Moving on to collenchyma, the tissue that gives plants their flexible strength. These are living, elongated cells, but their primary cell walls are unevenly thickened, especially at the corners, due to additional deposits of cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. A key feature is the absence of intercellular spaces, ensuring compact arrangement. Their main function is to provide mechanical support and elasticity to growing parts of the plant, such as young stems and leaf petioles. This allows these organs to bend and sway with wind or other forces without breaking, crucial for their development and survival. You'll typically find collenchyma in the hypodermis of dicot stems and petioles, but it's generally absent in roots and monocote stems. Finally, we have sclerenchyma, the tissue responsible for the plant's rigid support and protection. Unlike parenchyma and collenchyma, sclerenchyma cells are usually dead at maturity. They possess highly thickened, lignified secondary cell walls, making them extremely hard and rigid, with a very narrow central cavity or lumen. Sclerenchyma comes in two main forms: fibers, which are long, narrow, spindle-shaped cells with pointed ends, often found in bundles associated with vascular tissues, like in jute or flax. The second type is sclerades, also known as stone cells, which are varied in shape, spherical, oval, or irregular, with exceptionally thick walls. They are responsible for the grittiness in pear fruit and the hardness of nutshells and seed coats. The primary function of sclerenchyma is to provide maximum mechanical strength, rigidity, and protection to mature plant parts, helping them resist various stresses and preventing crushing. Alright, it's time to check your grasp on the medium-level concepts. First, describe the primary function of parenchyma tissue in plant stems and roots. Second, how does the cell wall structure of collenchyma contribute to its function of providing flexible support? Third, differentiate between sclerenchyma fibers and sclerades based on their morphology and location. Fourth, explain why collenchyma is typically found in young, growing stems, while sclerenchyma is prominent in mature plant parts. And finally, list two specific locations where you would expect to find sclerenchyma tissue in a plant. Take a moment to formulate your answers. Now, let's really dig deep into the intricate details of simple permanent tissues. Get ready for some advanced insights. Let's elaborate on the cellular characteristics. Parenchyma, while often isodiametric, can adapt forms like stellate shapes in erenchyma, optimizing air circulation. Their thin cellulose walls facilitate not just transport but also allow for rapid dedifferentiation, a crucial process where mature cells revert to a meristematic state, vital for wound healing and forming adventitious structures. Collenchyma's flexibility stems from its unevenly thickened primary walls, rich in pectin and hemicellulose, but notably lacking lignin. This allows the tissue to stretch and support growing organs without hindering elongation. We classify collenchyma further into angular, lamellar, and lacunar types based on the specific pattern of wall thickening. Sclerenchyma, on the other hand, comprises cells that undergo programmed cell death, leaving behind robust, lignified secondary walls. Lignification, a complex biochemical process, imparts extreme hardness and impermeability. Sclerenchyma fibers provide tensile strength, while sclerades, like brachysclerids or astrosclerids, offer compressive strength and protection. The functional specialization of these tissues is a marvel of plant adaptation. Parenchyma's thin walls and intercellular spaces are perfectly designed for efficient gas exchange and nutrient storage, with its turgor pressure providing a hydrostatic skeleton for herbaceous plants. Collenchyma's unique wall structure allows it to provide strong, yet flexible, support, crucial for young, elongating stems and leaves to withstand environmental stresses like wind without snapping. This adaptive flexibility is key to plant growth in dynamic environments. Sclerenchyma, with its dead, lignified cells, provides maximum mechanical strength and rigidity. It forms a robust structural framework, enabling large plants to grow tall and resisting significant physical forces. This tissue is essential for the integrity of mature plant parts, protecting them from physical damage and providing structural stability against gravity and external stresses. These tissues also hold significant ecological and evolutionary importance. The development of specialized simple permanent tissues was a pivotal step in plants' transition to land. Parenchyma's efficiency in storage and metabolism supported complex life cycles. Collenchyma allowed for upright growth and mechanical resilience, crucial for competing for sunlight in terrestrial environments. Sclerenchyma, with its rigid support, enabled the evolution of massive structures like tree trunks and provided robust protection for seeds and fruits, aiding their dispersal and survival. Physiologically, parenchyma's dedifferentiation capacity is fundamental to tissue culture and regeneration. Collenchyma contributes to turgor-driven support, while sclerenchyma, through its lignified walls, indirectly supports water transport by preventing vessel collapse and directly provides resistance to mechanical stresses, ensuring the plant's overall structural integrity. Understanding these tissues is also economically vital, especially sclerenchymatous fibers used in various industries. Now, let's tackle some challenging questions. First, explain how the presence or absence of lignin differentiates the mechanical roles of collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Second, describe the process of dedifferentiation in parenchyma cells and its significance for plant survival. Third, compare and contrast the three types of collenchyma based on their wall thickening patterns. Fourth, discuss the evolutionary advantage conferred by the development of sclerenchyma in terrestrial plants. Fifth, how does the large central vacuole of parenchyma cells contribute to plant support? Sixth, what are sclerades and where are they typically found? And finally, explain why collenchyma is often absent in the roots of plants. Think critically and provide detailed answers. Alright, prepare to delve into the deepest layers of understanding. This, hardest, level will challenge you with competitive insights and complex biological mechanisms. Let's push the boundaries. Let's examine the histological and cytological peculiarities of these tissues. Parenchyma cells, beyond their basic functions, exhibit a sophisticated network of plasmodesmata, facilitating rapid symplastic transport and intercellular communication, crucial for coordinated metabolic activities. The tonoplast, the vacuolar membrane, actively regulates ion gradients, contributing significantly to turgor pressure and waste sequestration. Collenchyma's uneven wall thickening is not static. It's a dynamic process influenced by mechanical stress and hormonal signals, allowing for adaptive plasticity. The pectin component within its primary wall contributes to its unique viscoelastic properties, enabling reversible deformation. Sclerenchyma, in contrast, undergoes a programmed cell death, leaving behind highly lignified secondary walls. Lignin biosynthesis, involving the complex phenylpropanoid pathway, is a critical aspect, determining the material properties. The precise microfibrillar orientation within these secondary walls significantly impacts the tensile strength and stiffness of the fibers. From a developmental biology perspective, the differentiation of these tissues from the ground meristem is tightly regulated. Positional cues, hormonal gradients like auxins, gibberellins, and cytokinins, and specific gene expression networks orchestrate the commitment of meristematic cells to become parenchyma, collenchyma, or sclerenchyma. For instance, genes involved in cellulose synthesis, pectin modification, and lignin polymerization are differentially expressed. Biomechanically, parenchyma provides hydrostatic support via turgor pressure, acting as a lomodulus elastic material. Collenchyma, with its viscoelastic properties, is optimally designed to withstand bending and shearing forces in growing organs, exhibiting high tensile strength without impeding elongation. Sclerenchyma, especially its fibers, exhibits remarkable anisotropic mechanical properties due to lignin and microfibril orientation, providing immense tensile and compressive strength, crucial for resisting environmental loads like wind and gravity in mature structures. The ecological significance of these tissues is profound. Erenchyma in aquatic plants, a specialized parenchyma, facilitates gas exchange and buoyancy, enabling survival in flooded conditions. In xerophytes, sclerenchyma provides protection against water loss and herbivory. Evolutionarily, the development of these specialized simple permanent tissues was a pivotal adaptation for terrestrial life, supporting increased plant size and complexity. Economically, sclerenchymatous fibers from plants like jute, flax, and hemp are invaluable. They are used in textiles, ropes, and increasingly as sustainable reinforcements in biocomposites, offering alternatives to synthetic materials. Understanding their development is also critical for biotechnological applications, such as improving crop lodging resistance, enhancing fiber quality, or manipulating lignin content for biofuel production. Parenchyma's totipotency is the cornerstone of plant tissue culture and genetic engineering, allowing for plant regeneration from single cells or protoplasts. In terms of plant pathology, these tissues play a crucial role in disease resistance and wound response. Parenchyma cells can form a protective wound periderm, isolating damaged areas. Changes in the cell wall composition of collenchyma and sclerenchyma can be induced by pathogen attack or environmental stresses, strengthening physical barriers. Comparative anatomy reveals fascinating differences. Collenchyma, for example, is predominantly found in dicot hypodermis but absent in monocots and roots, which often rely on sclerenchyma for support. Sclerenchyma is highly diverse across plant organs and species, reflecting specific adaptations to various mechanical stresses and protective needs. From a broader scientific context, studying these simple permanent tissues provides fundamental insights into plant development, adaptation, and the potential for engineering advanced biomaterials, highlighting their enduring legacy in botany and beyond. Their structure-function relationships are a testament to evolutionary optimization. Time for the ultimate challenge. Here are the first 5 questions. First, discuss the role of plasmodesmata in parenchyma tissue and its implication for overall plant physiology. Second, explain the biochemical basis of collenchyma's flexibility, specifically contrasting its wall composition with that of sclerenchyma. Third, describe the phenylpropanoid pathway's significance in the formation of sclerenchyma and its impact on cell wall properties. Fourth, how do hormonal signals regulate the differentiation of ground meristem cells into specific simple permanent tissues? And fifth, analyze the biomechanical differences in support mechanisms provided by parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma, considering their material properties. Take your time to construct comprehensive answers. Continuing with our hardest questions, here are the next 5. Sixth, elaborate on the biotechnological applications of parenchyma's totipotency in plant propagation and genetic engineering. Seventh, discuss how the presence and morphology of simple permanent tissues vary in monocot versus dicot stems, relating these differences to their growth patterns. Eighth, explain the ecological advantages of erenchyma in aquatic plants and sclerenchyma in xerophytes. Ninth, how do simple permanent tissues contribute to a plant's defense mechanisms against pathogens and physical damage? And finally, explore the economic importance of sclerenchymatous fibers, providing specific examples of their uses in modern industries. These questions require a deep understanding and critical thinking. Good luck! And that brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of simple permanent tissues. I hope you now have a comprehensive understanding, from the basics to the most advanced concepts. For more such engaging and detailed educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing biology lessons. Keep learning, keep exploring, and stay curious. See you next time.